Hello everyone, welcome. Thank you for watching this video on how to make a toilet paper tube rocket. So I know we've done some rockets out of paper towel tubes, and this is really kind of the same concept, just a little tinier. So of course you need a toilet paper tube, clean one. You need a piece of kind of like cardstock or heavier pieces of paper, black. I chose black. It's going to be for the cone at the very top of the rocket ship. You're just going to need to cut it into a circle. I'm using just a piece of paper that I had already had hole punches in it, so you do not need to punch holes in it. That's what was already in my paper. So you want a piece of paper, and it can be any color you want. I chose black because that's what I had on hand, because we like to use what we have. And then I have some scrap paper. These are going to be for the windows. And then I have some orange and red. You could also use yellow tissue paper. This is going to be the flames coming out from below. And then to color this, I'm going to decorate it with watercolors, but you can certainly use crayons, colored pencils, markers, tempera paint if you want to go that route. So the first thing you want to do is we want to color or decorate our tube. You know, you can always take a piece of paper like we've done in the past and glue it on and roll it if you want a solid look. But I actually want to paint with watercolors today. So that'll be my first step, is I get some water, get my watercolors out, and I'm going to just paint, my watercolor tube. And I think I'm going to go for some stripes here. You can paint the whole thing one color. You can mix colors. Really up to you. It's okay if you get a little messy. Our hands will wash. Remember to always rinse your brush in between colors so you don't mix it in your palette. I can do one more. Let's go for orange. Okay. So now we want to make sure that this is completely dry before we start assembling our rocket ship. So while that completely dries, you can go and take a hair dryer to it, or you just let it dry overnight, or just for however long it takes to dry. It shouldn't take too long to dry, maybe a couple hours or an hour or so. But meanwhile, I'm going to show you what to do with your rocket top. Now we want to make sure you do this once that is already dry. But for your rocket top, when you cut your circle out, you want to cut a slit right up to maybe about the middle, because then what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in like this so that you have more of a cone like this. So then what you can do is take a stapler and staple it on, and then you can hot glue it to the top of your rocket. So you will need to use hot glue or strong tape, because otherwise it won't sit on top of this with just regular school glue. So go ahead and make sure this is dry, and then make your cone and affix it to the top of your rocket. So once the bottom of your rocket part is completely dry, and then you've made your cone and you hot glued it to the top, remember only parental supervision with that because it is hot. So now it's time to do the rest of our rocket. So from this stage you can take colored pencils, markers, crayons, and you can draw windows if you want to have windows on your rocket ship. So what I want to do is I actually want to make a window out of the scrap piece of paper that I have. I'm going to make 2 small windows, and I'm going to cut them out with my scissors. I'm going to try to freehand them a little bit. Not very good with circles, but that's okay. We'll just practice makes perfect, right? You can also draw one if you want and then cut it out. You can make the windows triangular, square. You can make them any size or shape that you want, if you even want windows. Okay, and then we take our glue, we put some glue on here. I put one down here. With stick glue, you might have to hold it for a little bit because it doesn't stick on it immediately. If you got the hot glue out, you can always use that, but use it with caution. Okay, there's our two windows. You can even draw a little guy, a little space, a little astronaut in there, a little guy or gal on the window. Okay, and then we want to put, last but not least, we want to put our, these are our rocket, the flames that are coming out. So I'm going to do this. This might be a little bit more difficult, but I'm going to actually hold my rocket like this with my stick glue, and I'm going to put some glue. You can use this with the Elmer school glue as well. I'm actually going to just rub some glue on the inside of my rocket ship. See, I've got a little bit messy glue, but that's okay. It'll just help everything stick. And then you can start sticking. Careful not to touch the glue. If you do, you might want to wipe your hands off. Otherwise, the tissue paper will stick to you and not to the glue. So you can trade off orange, red, make it all red, make it all orange, make it white. If you only have, you know, different colors hanging around, use those colors instead. You might have to have somebody help you. It might get a little bit difficult when you're around the bend here. Put this on at the very last. If you don't have tissue paper, if you'd rather use just regular scrap paper, you can do that as well. But then we turn it over and there is our rocket ship. So you've got a lot of different elements that go into it, but it doesn't take very long to make.